You rang for more information on the Magdalene Laundries? Hi, I'm Elliot, the alt-Irish historian. I have a master's in international history and I'm currently getting my PhD in the history of the Irish LGBT community. When the Magdalene movement started in the late 18th century, the campaign of putting fallen women to work was supported by both the Protestant and Catholic churches. The goal towards short stays for women in the laundries with a goal towards rehabilitation. Over the years, the Magdalene Laundries became a primarily Catholic-run institution, with stints growing longer and longer. Women within the laundries were often charged with redeeming themselves through the process of needlework, lace making, or laundry services. This redemption might sometimes involve a variety of coercive methods, including shaven heads, institutional uniforms, bread and water diets, restricted visiting, supervised correspondence, solitary confinement, and even flogging. Ireland's first such institution, the Dublin Magdalene Asylum for Penitent Females, was founded by the Protestant Church of Ireland in 1765. At the time, there was a worry that prostitution in Irish cities was on the rise and that wayward women who had sex outside of marriage, were assaulted or seduced, were at risk of becoming prostitutes. All too soon, this evolved into parents institutionalizing their unmarried daughters to hide pregnancies. Initially, the majority of women who entered these institutions entered voluntarily and would come out the other end after a short stint with a respectable profession. The idea was that they would then employ these skills to get a respectable job and would no longer need to turn to prostitution for money. While they were within the institution, their work would support the institution. Over time, if you can believe it, the institutions became even more prison-like, with girls sometimes being routed through the system by the Irish government. This included women imported from psychiatric institutions and jails, women with special needs, victims of rape and sexual assault, pregnant teenagers sent there by their parents, girls deemed too flirtatious or tempting to men. This also included the undesirables, which are orphans, abandoned children, children born out of wedlock, disabled children, children in industrial schools or reformatories, problem children, victims of abuse or assault. Others were there for no obvious reason or were coerced with promises and lies of education. Though the institutions were Catholic-run, they were heavily financially supported by the Irish government and the private sector in exchange for laundry services. Women's names were completely stripped from them. They were either referred to as penitent, child, number, or a new name. Depending on the laundry, the new name was either biblical or in most cases could not be biblical. This was to reinforce the idea that these were fallen women who could not be anywhere close to a saint. Nuns ruled the laundries with impunity, often beating inmates and enforcing rules of strict silence. Some pregnant women late term were transferred to mother and baby institutes where they were temporarily housed with their baby. However, these babies were often very quickly taken from their mothers, who were often told that their babies had died in childbirth. While infant mortality was extremely high, this was not always the case. Nuns would then, in fact, sell or adopt out these babies through unlawful adoptions where the mother was completely unaware her child was still alive. In cases where the mother was aware the child was still alive, many of these adoptions were coerced. In one of the most notorious institutions, the Bon Secours Mother and Baby Hospital or institution in Tuam, scores of babies died. In 2014, the remains of at least 796 babies were discovered in the institution's septic tank. The institution is still under investigation to try to reconstruct what happened there.